They've got a population of 2 million. They have more cell phones per person than most other countries that I know of. So their want and need for technology is there. But I'll go into why the Gambia later on. Okay, so pre-launch. What fueled SafeMoon? What is SafeMoon? Why did we do SafeMoon? So a lot of my experiences, after I got out, I tried a few different things. I did import-export, government contracting, and then the biggest thing I did was I got into video game development. What's the lesson I learned there? Well, it was the importance of being able to communicate your story, your narrative with a community and the value that community has for your product. So took that lesson, and 2021, March of this year, we launched SafeMoon. What is SafeMoon? So we're, as I said before, a blockchain innovation company, a tech company, launched in March of 2021, with our first product being the SafeMoon token. Our next product that we launched was the SafeMoon wallet. Over 700,000 users, top of the charts on both iOS and Google Play. So we're a tech company, first and foremost. We have a greater vision to bring the future to now, and we continue to work on it. So everyone who works in the blockchain space understand that 1 quarter in blockchain, or in the blockchain industry, is equated to 1 week in real world time. So you have to learn to move fast. This is a very rapidly changing environment, and we're definitely on the edge of next gen technology, just beginning to scratch the surface of blockchain. So I covered a little bit what SafeMoon is. We have our token on the Binance Smart Chain and on the Ethereum chain. We have our wallet out. We'll be releasing an exchange here in the near future, as well as some other products. But first and foremost, we're a blockchain innovation company. And the speech today is about the building of a blockchain innovation company in an industry that's not only a startup, but also being a startup in a startup industry. This is definitely like early 2000s, late 90s internet era. So I'm going to summarize with lessons learned. First off, you need to build your team. You need to surround yourself with people who are like-minded. And just like any winning team, you have to be willing to evolve. For the English football fans, I'm not picking a side here. Please don't come after me, but we're going to use Manchester as an example. So Cristiano Ronaldo left Manchester and then came back. You have to learn when to move players around on your team so you can maximize your success. Because it's not just about the technology, it's also about your greater vision. It's about your North Star. So you need to be able to build a team, first and foremost, that will evolve with you and be willing to evolve that team even when it's difficult. And this is especially important in a fast-paced industry like cryptocurrency and blockchain. So one of the big lessons I learned while my time in the service was taking large, daunting, asymmetric problems and breaking them down into manageable milestones. So for me, I like to break things down based on timelines. You have 30, 60, 90, 180, 365, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 7 years goals and milestones that you have to reach. And the first one for me was, how do you defeat the altcoin death cycle? So, it's a term I coined. Basically, the altcoin death cycle is the overutilization and reliance on hype. Hype is fleeting. It doesn't last very long, and you can clearly see that on the charts. So it's turning hype into something more sustainable and something that's not really thought about or done on a mass scale in our industry, which is building trust. Building trust in an industry that likes to talk about trustless technology. If, a large motor company says, hey, you don't have to trust me, but trust the technology, most people won't buy it. And this is especially important for the crypto core. The trustless makes sense. For the crypto curious, they try to understand it, but it doesn't make sense. And it's especially important when trying to attract mainstream audiences. SafeMoon is blessed with both, with a wide dichotomy of people. Just on our Discord alone, we have someone who's a certified doctor, medical physician, to people who are college students. That's just a small little tidbit. When you're dealing with such a wide audience, the importance of communicating a solid narrative, solid story, and solid information out to people for all three audiences, the crypto core, the crypto curious, and the mainstream, becomes all more important. So, and the big thing that ties all of those communities together, all those different audiences together, is trust. Build trust in a trustless industry. So I touched on this, so I'll go to the next slide. Okay, so if you don't take anything else from my speech today, perfection is a journey, not a destination. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes in an industry that is emerging. It is emerging tech. This is unpaved terrain, and we're just beginning to scratch the surface of what blockchain can do for people. Prime example is, for me, I don't give out timelines anymore. We had a very good lesson learned when it came to our wallet launch. It's no secret we missed it by 2 weeks, but the main takeaway there is if you build something great, nobody's going to care. They're going to forget. If you release something that is not great, they'll never forgive you. They won't forget, and you won't get a second chance. So take the time you need to release a good product. Okay, what SafeMoon is not. We're not a meme coin. So while meme coins have their place, and I do appreciate meme coins like Dogecoin, for SafeMoon, we're not a meme coin. We are a tech company. We are releasing a lot of products. I touched a little bit about that during this speech. Our wallet, 700,000 users, top of the charts on both iOS and Google Play. But we're not a meme coin, but they have their place. If a community loves something, if the community likes something, and they support something, there you go. There's your value, there's your utility. Forgot the clicker. Okay, so this is kind of talking about what SafeMoon's greater goals are. So I began a little bit about talking about the Gambia, and I want to take you back there now. So, I've worked there since about 2018 on different infrastructure stuff, and I've learned a lot of lessons along this journey. But the one thing I always knew before starting SafeMoon was the application, the stuff that blockchain technology can do for the global south, for developing countries. When I was in Afghanistan, I had a routine. It was work out, eat, sleep, work out, eat, sleep. You get the gist. Over and over. And, when I was working out, when I was left alone to my thoughts, when I was going to bed and I was resting my head on the pillow, things came to me. It was like, what would a society look like? What would a country look like if they integrated blockchain technology early on? What would it look like if it was mass adopted? And so that's been a major inspiration, a major viewpoint, and major motivation for what we do at SafeMoon. I love the Gambia. I visited there earlier this year to meet with some folks. We talked about not just about SafeMoon, about what blockchain can do for a country. And the possibilities, anywhere from how it can tie into agriculture to some of the other stuff that we're working on in the telecommunications and renewable energy space. And it's a prime use case, and the energy stuff becomes especially important, especially after the COP26 climate summit that just took place. About the transition from fossil fuels and other energy sources that we currently use to sustainable energy. And while this is very important in, a lot of the major countries, it's especially important in developing countries. Now, if you add blockchain to that, you get a level of efficiency and technological boom that you don't really see when you apply other stuff. So, we've got a lot of stuff in the works. We've got the traditional blockchain items, wallet, blockchain, exchange. But our greater mission is definitely when it comes to macro IoT. when you're able to tie together stuff like telecommunications, renewable energy, even all the way down to how agricultural items are tracked and moved around, what you see is a greater level of efficiency, transparency, and freedom that can grow and flow within a country, within a community, within a society. That kind of sums it up. This is where you can find me. My Twitter is @CaptainHodl. You can find me, John Karony, on LinkedIn, and then there's my Discord. This is more for the SafeMoon Army who's watching right now. Please don't crash the stream unless you already did. We're SafeMoon. We are family. For those here and SafeMoon Army here, thank you. I'm John Karony, CEO of SafeMoon. Thank you for listening.
Could smart contracts revolutionize smart money forever? Moderated by James Bowater, Crypto AM. With Eric Wall, Arcane Assets. And Luis Carballo, Votoon.
Hey everyone, are you just about surviving? It's all quite late now. Thank you very much for having us. The title of the talk's a little interesting, and I think that what we're going to do is introduce ourselves first. So, Eric, let's go with you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Wall. I work for a Scandinavian hedge fund called Arcane Assets. So we invest in a number of different cryptocurrency assets. We have an office in Stockholm. Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Luis Carballo. Our company, Votoon, provides different blockchain solutions to mainly corporates in Spain and in USA. And basically, we are also in the crypto business because we are testing right now a B2B payment solution with the Central Bank of Spain to allow multinational companies to use crypto instead of the banking system.
Excellent, thank you. Obviously, I do Crypto AM, founder and editor of that. So we don't need to focus on me. So smart contracts, revolutionizing smart money. It's a bit of a confusing title, I think. But I think one of the things that's actually been quite astonishing is during the pandemic is the transformation and the advent of DeFi and the throwaway from cash, everything like that. So what we're now looking at is what's going on now. So what do you think, Eric, about the direction of travel?
Well, like you highlighted, so the coronavirus pandemic has really been an accelerator for the entire cryptocurrency industry. And so one of the obvious data points for that is obviously the price of Bitcoin going up. But along with that also came an acceleration of DeFi. So in the end of 2019, DeFi was just a buzzword. But by the summer of 2020, shortly after the pandemic had become taken hold of the entire world, then all of a sudden you had people from all over the world participating in the decentralized finance economy. And we've seen an explosion, an absolute explosion of applications in decentralized exchanges, lending markets, NFTs, financial derivatives, margin trading that has been exploding. And that trend, which many anticipated would drop off as soon as the flight restrictions would come down, has not picked down pace at all. It's continuing, it's ongoing, and we're just seeing the beginning of a very large trend that, in my opinion, is going to revolutionize the entire financial sector.
Well, I think that the pandemic has obviously accelerated a lot of things, right? One of them, I think, that people have more time to learn what's going on in different industries, and one of them has been the crypto. They have also a lot of time to play, and playing, they identify things like NFT games, and thanks to that also they get interested in DeFi and other protocols. So absolutely, I think that accelerates the growth of the industry. We are getting more attention from the media, that is good. We are getting more attention from the regulators, that is good. So I think that we are just accelerating drastically thanks to the pandemic. So it has been a good thing in that case for us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of stumbling on the title of this talk, as I said at the beginning, because what is smart money? What is smart money? I mean, everyone's used to pounds, dollars, euros, yuans, whatever. Cash is no longer king because it's toxic, literally. That's the infusion in the mind here. You've got now people who never knew what a QR code was for, using them every day of their bloody lives. There's been a seismic shift of conditioning of people. And that's why I wanted to lead with the pandemic, because actually it has created an accelerant. And now we're looking at the metaverse, where we, I mean, we've said blockchain is at 10x, but actually metaverse seems to be 25x. I mean, it's the speed of transition is so fast, that none of us really can keep up, I don't think. So smart contracts revolutionize smart money. I don't even know what smart money is right now.
Well, you could perhaps argue that hard money is an asset class. Smart money is the money that invests in hard money.
Okay, so now we can get into the world of DeFi and arbitrage of interest rates and clever things like that. I mean, is that something that you feel is a good progression? Is that smart money?
Well, once again, I think that smart money is what everybody is experiencing now, in the sense of, you just said, that the cash is not the king anymore, and people get used to use digital money, and part of this digital money, when they learn about digital money, they start getting interested in other kind of money that exists out there and has value, like Bitcoin, like other currencies. So smart money is just smart because it's run through smart contracts, etc. But I think that is everything that is behind that term. What is important is that people realize that there is a way in the digital world to use money in different ways and earn money in different ways, and not just always tied to the banking system or to the traditional financial system.
I mean, I'm slightly biased because obviously I'm involved with a number of interesting projects that occupy this space with sort of longevity, and so I'm taking my newspaper hat off and just focusing on those things for a minute. But smart money, digital money, all of this sort of stuff relies, doesn't it, on the ability to connect. So well, mobile, we're doing connect the unconnected. Half the world has no access to the internet, so it doesn't matter how many handsets you have. If you have to travel 10 kilometers to go and download something or get bandwidth to do something, you can't certainly pay with it at the time. You need access. So again, cash still has its absolute place. But again, I'm struggling with smart money. I'm always struggling with smart money. To my mind, Chris Cleverly, who's here and was doing his announcement about what he's doing in Nigeria, there is a use case. There's an introduction of wallets to a situation, where rural Africa can benefit directly because there is the infrastructure there. Again, I keep going back. What the fuck is smart money? I just don't get it.
Well, smart money can mean, I think, three things. So the first one is an investor profile, the kind of money that gets in before the dumb money, basically. That's smart money. Another type of smart money can be, well, like I said, hard money.
I understand smart money from an investment perspective.
And another category, I suppose, would be, so Bitcoin, for instance, what characteristics does Bitcoin have that distinguishes it from fiat money beyond just being hard? Well, for example, in Bitcoin, if I wanted to take all my money from one country to another, I can do it with Bitcoin just by memorizing 12 words, and I can walk across any border. So if I'm a Venezuelan citizen and the government imposes a highly inflationary currency upon me, it's very hard to transport the amount of wealth that you have acquired to another country and exchange it for something else. But with Bitcoin, you can just memorize 12 words, you can walk across any border in the world, and there's no central bank that can inflate the value that you have. That's smart money. But you can also say that, the smart contract platforms that we have today, the types of applications that you can build, for instance, you can have, let's say you have a mountain of wealth, and you want to make sure that this mountain of wealth gets distributed according to your will. And you can embed the rules of your will in a smart contract language. So you can say, for instance, you can put a restriction that says, for example, only 2% of my wealth shall get allocated to my children after I die. And you can have a smart contract that imposes those rules upon the money that you have left after you die. That's not possible to do in the existing system. You can use lawyers to try to reach that goal, but you cannot know for sure what's going to happen to the legal system after you die. But a smart contract language can enforce those rules into the future with much more certainty than laws can.
Well, there's a huge caveat to that, isn't there?
Sure.
Who's programming the smart contract?
Well, I
Who's
think
auditing the smart contract? And even the brightest minds, and by the way, there is a huge shortage of those bright minds, when they get it wrong, it's catastrophic,
it's absolutely catastrophic when you get it wrong. I think for the reason when I said that when we are getting more attention also from regulators, it's good on the sense that to some extent, regular users need to be protected for this kind of practice in which if you create a smart contract that sucks, it can be hacked, can be catastrophic for the users. And from that point of view, I think the audit and have more regulations is absolutely necessary, especially for the protocols that are.
Is that somebody leaving in their Lambo? I'm sorry. The irony of it. We've only got 3 minutes left, and obviously it's the end of the day. Does anyone have an opinion in the audience that they'd like to share, or would like to ask my esteemed panel? I'm looking out there. If not, that's no problem by me, by the way. But if anyone does have a question, there's a good opportunity to ask or make a statement. Nope. Okay. So in terms of closing, smart contracts, revolutionizing smart money.
Yeah, well, I think you touched on one interesting point, which was the metaverse and NFTs. One thing that has really been occupying my mind recently is that the types of tokens that we see today, I think we've only scratched the surface with NFTs. You see people buying pictures of monkeys, and they're paying millions of dollars for that. But is that really the end goal of NFTs, and what NFTs are going to be capable of? I think the true potential of NFTs is going to be is the ability to create the link between the creator and the fan. So it doesn't have to be that you sell necessarily a picture or something. It can be that you sell something of more tangible value. So something, for example, you could sell the right to call someone for 30 minutes each week. That ability, that's called a credit for time. And by the way, it's not a security. That doesn't fall under securities law. So anyone can do this. They can tokenize their time. They can sell that time. And the person that buys that token doesn't necessarily need to be a person that actually wants to use the 30 minutes each week.
Well, I think actually you also touched on a really important thing that we haven't even gone anywhere near, which is, again, also accelerated by the pandemic and people being stuck at home, but play to earn, learn to earn, build to earn, all of those elements. I mean, that is a genuine revolution, I think, in terms of direction of travel.
It could be. At the end of the day, as Eric was saying, right, and we can see it with NFTs and the smart contracts that are ruling those NFTs, for example, as much important as the fund that is buying the token is also how the creator is guaranteeing the royalties that they get thanks to the smart contract. So from that point of view, everything that is built with smart contracts, it has the possibility to change the way that the money or the wealth or the value is exchanged between the parties. And I think that that is the part of where we are tying a smart contract with a smart money, what is really meaningful.
Cool. Well, I think we've exhausted the subject for now, given the time that we've got. So I'd like to thank you both very much for giving your time and being so patient. I know the guys have been handling difficult technical issues, so thank you also for all of your patience. And thank you, team, for being so supportive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.